From the creators of Relevant Magazine, this is the Relevant Podcast.
Seasons change and our love went cold. Feed the flag 'cause we can't let go. Run away while we're running in circles. Run away, I dare you to do something. I'm waiting on you again, so I don't take the blame. Run away while we're running in circles. Run away, run away.
It's Friday, September 6th, 2019, and it's the international edition of the Relevant Podcast. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and here with me in our Orlando studios on the ones and twos, our illustrious brother, Chandler Strang.
Hello.
On the Skype line from Loverland, Virginia, Jesse Carey.
Hello.
From Nashville, Tennessee, author, speaker, podcaster, cowgirl extraordinaire, Annie F. Downs.
Good morning, gents.
And joining us from his new home in Paris, France, Tyler Huckabee.
Bonjour à tous.
I don't even know
start. I don't know. I'm still working it. I'm shouting it on the streets, and I'm getting weird looks. I'm not sure what I'm saying, but you can't just run around saying bonjour in French.
To offset all of this, I will be eating freedom fries for lunch, and I will be altering weather maps to clearly show that Alabama's in the loop of America. And I got to offset the Frenchness. Tyler, how many Jerry Lewis movies have you watched? Because I assume like 3 channels is just Jerry Lewis movies on a loop. Don't they love him over there?
They love him over. It's a very strange. I've only been here for like 3 days, and most of those I've been like out. I've been in a fever dream of jet lag / just the new. I got a lot of things to do. I live in I brought kind of a visual slice. Jesse, okay. I think I've already showed you this, but I want to show Annie and Cameron, maybe you can describe for the listeners. So I'm in the Airbnb that I'm going to be in for the next month here. And tell me what you guys think of my staircase over here.
What? It's just free-floating pieces of wood.
Do you think that's up to code? Do you think that's up to I don't know if Uncle Sam would let these fly here over in the U.S.
What we're looking at is a loft. There's a loft without a railing.
Yeah,
a loft without a railing about 8 feet above the living room there. And the staircase to get up to the loft without a railing looks like a couple of zigzag pieces of wood that are coming out of the wall with also no railing. So you just got to crawl up there, I think.
And I'm just eyeballing it. All of the stair links don't look exactly the same. It looks like
those don't look just right.
It looks like the contractor was like, you know what? These stairs are close enough. Like they'll make their way up there.
It looks like the lines on the Charlie Brown t-shirt just going.
Yeah, that's a good. That's a good description.
Yeah, that's right.
Of it.
It's the Charlie Brown t-shirt turned sideways, and you're expected to climb it.
Yeah.
And the ceiling,
What's up there, Huck? Is that where you sleep?
It's a true lofted bed. Yeah. And so the ceiling is only about 3, like the roof is only about 3 feet higher. So as you go upstairs, you have to crouch down. It's not safe. It's not ideal. My dog won't touch it because he's nobody's fool, but I've got nowhere else to sleep.
Do y'all have like a guard up so y'all don't roll out of it?
Well, listen, my history with bunk beds. I would not go near that
Yes.
thing. I'd fly back to America. I'd be like, France is trying to kill me. The French are trying to they're like, bonjour, right this way, monsieur, madame. And they lead me up here to a death trap. I see what the French are trying to do.
Is great.
It's a passive aggressive way to take me out. And I would be on the first plane back to God's country.
There are some books, like big stacks of books that are set up along there. That's the closest thing we have to like a guard so we don't roll off the bed in the middle of the night. And I can tell you that maybe the most French thing about the place is that the books are very adult in content. Was not warned about these when we came in. So it all feels so far it feels very, not only French, but godless and socialist. So needless to say.
Okay, so you're there for 1 month. Y'all are in France longer than that, right?
We're doing 2 different Airbnbs. We're going to move halfway through to a
sounds
different.
That sounds fun.
A typical European hellscape.
So the first half, you're going you want to experience 2 different types of Paris.
Exactly.
So the first half, you're going hedonism.
Mm-hmm. Death-defying
hedonism.
Yeah. Literal edge.
Got you.
And then I don't know what round 2 is going to be like yet, but I'm looking forward to sharing this with.
Oh, so y'all don't know round 2 yet?
No,
this is very cool.
I have it, but the pictures of an Airbnb, it can be a little deceiving. You can get some surprises. They get
I was about to get so excited that you were there with nowhere next to live.
Oh, that would have been par for the course for Tyler Huckabee. But no, we have a spot lined up for round two. We do have a place to stay, I believe.
Jesse and I are having our own travel difficulties right now.
Yeah.
Because we're going to Toronto tomorrow for the film festival, and Jesse has an interview lined up with like Tom Hanks, and we're doing stuff for the magazine, and he calls me this morning, first thing, 5 times. His flights have been canceled because there's a rainstorm in the ocean.
And I'm scrambling, and I'm like, you know what? This is
out.
no big deal, man. I'll get on a later one. So I schedule it. I call him back. I'm like, dude, bad news.
Got canceled.
So I'm like, you know what? I'll get one Saturday. Call him back. Hey, bro. Bad news. Canceled. So I'm like, I might have to drive like 3 hours. I think I've got it all scheduled. Who knows? It's a big thing, and I've been worried about it all morning. Tyler knows this.
Sure.
I've been
stressing.
I've called him.
Yeah,
I called him early Murley. I can't even speak. It's got me so. This whole situation has me
Murley.
called him from France, early Murley. This whole situation has me so frazzled. I had an interview this morning. Guys, we're coming in hot today. I don't know if you guys notice this, but I'm coming in very hot. And all this, and I'll tell you what's not helping, all this France talk. That's got my feathers ruffled a little bit.
Wait, Huck, is it evening? If it's morning for us, is it evening for you?
It's 4:00. Yeah.
Okay. And it's 9 a.m. Central.
It's fine. I just start working. I just start working a little early. You know, I'm kind of doing the relevant late night shit. You guys don't need to know what I'm covering in my mornings over here. The less you know, the better. Just rest assured, they're getting clicks. They're getting engagement.
That's what it was like when I lived in Scotland, Huck, is that I always worked way different. Like you have to adjust. In the morning, you're the only person working. And then when you're ready to go to bed, everybody else is still cranking along.
My favorite thing traveling to Europe or whatever is that I can get, like, I do an entire half day of work, and then everybody shows up at the office. Yeah. And it's like, I'm ahead of everybody. It's great.
It's like having superpowers. I don't get bothered with all. We don't need to name names, but people coming through. I'm not going to say anybody's name, but Carrie Jesser is sometimes comes in with some of his own personal drama, right? His or her personal drama. We're gonna get about airline issues, some sort of like lightly American centrist takes, and that just throws off my whole day. And then I have to talk to him or her the entire time.
I love it because I get to Tyler's like dumbfounded at the news that has transpired in the short few hours that he's been offline. He's like, I missed this whole Sharpie Gate thing with a president and the hurricane in Alabama. I missed Benny Hinn renouncing the prosperity gospel.
Well, don't give away the hot list.
A whole news cycle has.
That was a big miss.
And everything's gone. I got nothing, and I can't even dunk on anybody because they're all asleep. So it's useless.
Hey, you still do it on Twitter though. You still try. When I woke up this morning, you had some hot takes already.
to crickets, Andy. Nobody cares.
You're gonna have to start scheduling your hot take tweets and stuff. You have to
or to start doing hot takes about France, which I'm sure people are really excited to hear more about my exciting French takes about Emmanuel Macron.
Have you gotten to see our friend Joy Eggerichs read yet?
No. I'm still trying to. Honestly, I was stuck up in the loft for the first 2 days that I was here. Couldn't work up the courage to go downstairs. So.
And honestly, he's been working on hot takes, but his riff on what happened while cycling with a large roll in his hand, it just wasn't as hot as he was hoping.
It didn't land.
Still workshopping some of my bits.
Who's making this cobblestone? I mean, it's a real hazard. I got 2 large rolls in my hand.
Sacre bleu.
Sacre bleu.
Well, we have a great show in store for you today. Coming up later, Elevation Worship singer Chris Brown joins us to talk about their new project At Midnight, which came out last Friday at midnight. Jesse, I got to be honest with you. When I saw the rundown for today's show and that today's guest was Chris Brown, I thought we were going in a very, very different direction.
Chris Brown, let's go. Let's talk to him.
Yeah, the redemption tour.
I thought that all the way up until I got on the phone with him and realized it was the guy from Elevation Worship. So I had to quickly listen to the EP while doing the interview, which complicated things, but I'm a pro. I'm a pro's pro.
Chris Brown, who do you think you are? Where do you get off, buddy? You got a lot of nerve wanting to be associated with this magazine after what you did.
Yeah. He was very confused, and Chris Brown from Elevation thought I had caught him in something and confessed to some really interesting, terrible things. We're going to leave that on the editing room floor or the Too Hot for TV. So Chris, the other Chris Beasy, you're safe today, buddy. We'll just talk about the incredible new EP, which I actually really do love. It's called At Midnight, and it is, he told some really cool stories that we'll listen to later, including, there was, a worship leader with Hillsong who recently had like a medical emergency, and, even the team at Elevation kind of rallied and, dedicated some of the music to her recovery. So, I mean, he did really tell some awesome stories, and I'm really, really excited about this EP. I told him this in the conversation. If you're looking for like a worship album, that's like a great morning one where it's like one to get ready to, where you feel like you're going to
first part of the day, or morning like sadness?
No, morning first part of the day. Like getting ready. Like I'm going to go and I'm going to slay giant. And you're listening to all these lyrics and you're like, wow, I'm pretty charged up for the day. So it's one of those. So excited to talk to him later on the show.
It's kind of a Dwight Schrute sitting in the car before a sales call, pumping himself up with
it's
like
the spiritual version of that.
I like it. All right. Well, stay tuned. Coming up next, it's the Hot List.
Hey, lately I've been a bit righteous, yeah. Hey, taking off, boy, like watch me pilot. Hey, I'm about to elevate. Most of these rappers is whack. Let me demonstrate. I be like 188, still I elevate. Body the moment I came with the pen, I make hits with fashion. Call it a classic. Boxing me in, I treat it like cash. It's humble in person, on record I'm ratchet. Grind me so crazy, can't nobody match it. Ain't no comparing, I'm in my own bracket. Light of the world, I'm the main attraction. Life on the microphone, couldn't imagine. Hop out the whip and go speak to the masses. Watch me elevate, yeah. Running laps at record pace, pop a bottle, celebrate. We got that dub like Westside, watch me throw it up. In my spaceship going up. This here be my glow up.
You're listening to Tadashi featuring Stephen Malcolm. The song is Activate. At the beginning of the podcast, you heard Post Malone's new one, Circles. All right, it's time for...
It's the hot list. The hot list. It's sizzling.
All right, I'm going to give you some context for the Hot List. Every week, we cover stuff all day, every day, intersection of faith and culture, and justice, and all that kind of stuff. And some weeks, pulling together the top 5, it's like, they're not
some stretches.
all home
There's
runs.
some stretches.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This week, we left some heavy-hitting news on the cutting room floor for the top 5 this week. I mean...
So many options.
So
I can't
many.
wait to see it.
For a short holiday week, where half of the East Coast was shut down for no apparent reason, for an unnecessary rain delay,
You're being
a lot
so
happened.
rude about this hurricane. I actually appreciate all the concern people have taken to be safe.
Yeah, I do too. And I will say this to Huck has not seen the Hot List, but I know there's an item
I haven't either.
that he wanted on the list that you'll have to wait to see if we get to number 1 to see if we mention. But like Cameron said, a lot was left on the cutting room floor this week. Go to relevantmagazine.com, follow us on social. You won't miss anything. But I think, if we need to cede the floor to Huck for something that we may or may not have missed, we can do that. But
You're
I
saying
feel
that
confident in my
hot
choices.
list, my personal hot list and the relevant official hot list may not be totally aligned.
Yeah. There's nothing Jerry Lewis related.
But Tyler has his own Hot List outlet doing Relevant Daily every day. So
That's
he
true.
he
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
need
true.
this Hot List.
Yeah.
No, this is my time to take a nap during the podcast.
And I got bad
Catch up on
news
my jet
for
lag.
you. Relevant Daily is taking a hard turn for the latest Pepe Le Pew news.
We're now doing a new French word of the day on the daily. I hope that everybody can.
I wish.
Speaking of cutting room floor, Chandler, I listened to Tuesday's show.
Yeah.
Masterful job leaving a lot of stuff out.
Thanks. I cut
Yeah, well
30
done.
minutes.
Did you guys
Yeah.
have to?
I was
make
like,
some
man,
calls?
this show is flying. This is really good. And I'm going,
No.
it's because
Yeah, it's because
there's a-
Chandler handles it.
There's a good
man.
3 10-minute chunks that I took out.
Attaboy.
well, you cut out the right ones. So,
Yeah.
Good to know.
Good work.
including us trying to figure out the name of the male gentleman that Annie had an encounter with.
Yeah, that one was a little bit more tricky. than-
I even sent him some notes after that one. I'm like, cut more. He had already cut it down to basically nothing. And I had one edit note. I'm like, you're going to need to cut more from that.
Got more of that.
It was a holiday weekend. We were hunkered down for fear of a hurricane. I mean, there was just a lot of factors that went into what happened on Tuesday.
Yeah.
But public doesn't know. It's great.
What happened?
All right. Coming in at number 5 this week, it was revealed that Kanye West's new album might be called Jesus is King. So Kanye's wife, Kim Kardashian West, showed an image of a track listing for an album due out on September 27th called that title, Jesus is King. Song titles included spiritually themed terms like Selah and Baptized, Sunday, Sweet Jesus. And though it's not an official announcement, Kanye has, of course, embraced more religiously oriented music recently, serving as a music director for his weekly Sunday services. Here's a clip of this week's Christianized Sunday service remix of Tupac's California Love, which they performed in the Watts neighborhood in LA.
Glory, glory. Hallelujah. Glory, glory. Hallelujah. Holy Spirit, have your way. Holy Spirit, in good old Watts. He's our rocket, our salvation. Say it again, cool. Glory, glory.
I know we've clowned on like Christian versions of, quote unquote secular songs, but I don't know. I kind of appreciated the heart behind at least what they were singing. I mean, they really sung it like a prayer, and I don't know. I mean, I get like Christianizing Tupac songs kind of goofy, but I mean, watching the video of all those people singing "Glory, Glory, Hallelujah, Holy Spirit, Fall of Watts" was, I don't know, maybe I'm just overly sentimental, but I thought it was kind of cool.
They're also happy that it's a little hard. I talked to Cameron about this a little bit because it exists at this intersection for me of very corny and so sincere that it's hard for me to get to Matt. Like,
Right.
I'm glad that my church is not doing any Tupac remixes, any Christianized Tupac songs. But watching everybody out there having such a good time, it was hard for me to get too cynical about it.
And they
You know
did
what
it
I mean?
really well too. Like it's good quality.
Well, it's Kanye.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
Right.
they're doing.
I mean, that's
So it is a
they're
little corny, but at least they're doing it well,
Yeah.
I just don't trust Kanye yet. That's my
Well,
thing.
that's
Is
fair.
I'm going,
That's
okay.
fair.
Yeah.
I feel like any minute he's going to do this thing that shifts it 90 degrees and it's going to be about him, or it's going to be, I just am not convinced yet.
Yeah.
What do you think? What would convincing look like?
Well, I'll tell you, actually, Rich Wilkerson's sermon that he did there was the most convincing to me so far. Like, because he really talks about Jesus, and he really, like, when I watched that, I went like, okay, I'm believing this more. I don't know, Huck. I mean, maybe when the album comes out, I don't know what's going to make me believe that this is genuine, but I don't, my radar isn't green yet. It's still yellow.
And I think that's fair. I mean, it wasn't that long
that's
ago where he served as like a producer for like the, adult video award show or whatever.
Right.
I don't think it's unfair to be skeptical, but I do think when you see, look, I mean, God uses unlikely vessels at times if scripture is indicative of anything, so
Hey, we just need to be careful of like Christians do this a lot. Put somebody on a pedestal, like, oh, he's ours now. He's one of us now.
Right,
and then he lets us down, and
We do it all the time, and
First thing
I
we
don't know that people are going to do that, though, Cameron. I don't think you have to worry about that with Kanye West in the like Bible Belt South, like they did with like, I don't know, someone else. I don't know that that's going to happen.
I think you're both right, and I think that something that we on this podcast and a lot of people I think have very rightfully criticized the embrace of, say, the president for, of like, well, if he says he's really turned a corner, I'd like to hear him kind of repent for some of the things that he's done that were very hurtful and were sinful. And Kanye has those too. And if he's done that, not that necessarily needs to be a big public thing, then I haven't seen that yet. So I would be interested to see if he regrets some of the things that he's done that would very much not be in line with this new corner he's turned. But I hope it's true. It would be awesome if it was true. I hope it's a sincere thing.
on its face, like just like the clip that we just heard and what he's doing where they're making Christian lyrics and, you know, and secular songs or known songs. Like I hear it and I'm just like, it is absolutely triggering of the worst version of youth group for me, you know, where like they would do that to draw in like, look, we're hip with the kids, you know, and it's just like,
just play gospel songs.
Yeah.
Like, gospel songs are good.
Right.
You don't need to
you don't need to do this.
Music out there.
You know, or or take those exact lyrics that you just did and just make your own beat. You're Kanye West.
Right.
Why are we needing to riff on this?
Right.
That's why I'm kind of going like, if it was anybody other than Kanye, other than Kanye, we would be just shellacking this. And I'm just going like, well, why are we going, oh, he's sincere? I'm going, no, this artistically is not, we can do better. I mean, like, I like the heart, but come on, artistically, we can do better.
But is it the same as, is it the same as like, you know, 200 years ago where they wrote hymns to bar songs, right? Because everybody knew that. Now, this is coming from the girl who's skeptical of Kanye. I hear myself talking out of both sides of my mouth. But is it similar to that where he's picking songs that the people that are coming to this event would recognize and can pick up on the melody quickly, even as he changes the words?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, even just as like a cultural curiosity, I personally think it's profoundly interesting because now I'm kind of going his motive, what you just said, his motive. Is he at the 10,000 foot view going, I am intentionally doing what Annie just said or is he completely like unaware and he thinks that what he's doing is actually original? Like he's like unaware that like youth groups have been doing this for decades, you know, like, or is he like, I'm just trying to figure out where's he coming from, because I agree with when you watch it, it feels sincere, but I'm going, is he just obtuse or is he brilliant or does he not get it? Or is he trying to manipulate? I don't know where he's coming from with it. Yeah. But I feel like that all of those things apply to almost his entire career. You know what I mean? From him starting out where, you know, remember when he first came out during like College Dropout era, they were like, who's this guy wearing pink polo shorts and, you know, or polo shirts, you know, like, is this ironic? Is he making a commentary on college? You know, like he's always been sort of this curiosity.
So now I don't know if he's co-opting gospel and Christianity as almost like a commodity that he's going to use, you know, or is this a true, sincere spiritual awakening? And he's a wide-eyed 5-year-old going, wow, look at all these amazing things. And it's like, this is absolutely out of an abundance of a joyful spiritual awakening. And this is a celebration. Because if it's that, I'm in. If it's like strategy somehow, I'm like, to me, it rings off and only time will tell. Right. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing.
We'll know a lot after the album comes out.
Yeah. And I mean, I think with most things in the faith, and I don't know if Benny Hinn's on the hot list, but with most things in faith, and I was just having this conversation with some friends because they're upset at some things that have slid under the radar in faith and kind of said, why did he or she get away with that? And what is really true is it all comes to light. Time tells you everything. Yeah. And so I'll just be interested to see in time if people's lives are changed toward the gospel because of what Kanye is doing or not. And I think we'll know in time when people start saying what their experience has been at those events.
Yeah. I agree with you. Mm-hmm. And I think the album will say a lot, and the tour ensuing, and how many explicit lyrics are on the album. And I mean, honestly, it's just all these things will kind of round out the picture for us.
Right. Anyway. Right. I mean, I don't know that y'all follow country music, but one of the things that's been interesting is Florida Georgia Line this weekend had Chris Tomlin come on stage and sing How Great Is Our God in front of their audience.
Well, and Dolly Parton released a collaboration with For King and Country. Like,
Don't you know I know that?
But it does seem like there's across the cultural spectrum to a degree, and I think as the next item on the hot list will kind of indicate I don't feel like it's just with music. I feel like across pop culture right now there has been less hesitation to embrace Christianity, Christian values, and Christian culture is being kind of co-opted in interesting ways.
Yes.
Yeah, it just seems like it's
Agreed.
more acceptable than it had been before. Like this kind of melding and crossing over is interesting to see because it's manifesting in a lot of different places.
Yeah.
All right, coming in number 4. The creators of CBS's new show, Evil, cite the Screw Tape letters as an influence for their approach to the series. So here's the official synopsis of the series. Evil is a psychological mystery that examines the origins of evil along the dividing line between science and religion. The series focuses on a skeptical female psychologist who joins a priest in training and a carpenter as they investigate the church's backlog of unexplained mysteries, including supposed miracles, demonic possessions, and hauntings. The creators of the show, Robert and Michelle King, told Relevant, that the debate in the show between faith and science mirrors conversations that they've had in their own marriage, with Robert more spiritually minded and Michelle more skeptical. Robert King grew up in a Catholic family and attended a non-denominational Christian school later in life, and cited C.S. Lewis's Screw Tape letters as an example of why it's so compelling to write evil villains like the ones on the show. He told us, just like with C.S. Lewis with Screw Tape letters, there's certain joy in writing that kind of demented person, partly to explore why they're demented, but partly as kind of ironic perspectives on how you live your life. The show premieres on CBS later this month. It sounds way too scary for me. I'm not going to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
super
I'm way
scary.
out.
It's super scary. I did like talking to the Kings because they were very open to talk about faith. But this is CBS, whether people, like their programming or no matter what their opinions are on their show, they're arguably they're the biggest network in America. Maybe one of the biggest broadcasters in the world. And in prime time, now they have a show where the creators are citing C.S. Lewis as influences that directly deal with a Christian view of the supernatural. Their number one comedy is called God Friended Me, about an atheist who hears from God. Their main talk show host, as we will see later in the hot list, regularly engages conversations about faith. We have the biggest broadcaster in America that has embraced faith conversations. That's what I mean when I'm saying it's not just in the music industry. It's not just hip hop. It's not just country music. Across culture right now, a lot more these conversations are happening.
I wonder if there was an internal shift after the Les Moonves got booted for all the indiscretions.
Yeah.
I'm wondering because it's now, this is the pipeline that would be coming out after he left. I know he was big on Colbert getting his seat, but I'm just wondering. I wonder if there's an internal culture shift over there, or if there's somebody at that top tier now.
There's got to be somebody. There's somebody who knows. I mean, it's not like Screw Tape letters they've gone through the top 10 on New York Times bestsellers a year ago. So someone over there knows enough to go deeply into C.S. Lewis's library.
And not only that, I mean, I think this show has a similar premise of like what we've seen in the Conjuring franchise, which the Conjuring franchise I think it's the most profitable horror franchise of all time. It's in the top 10 most profitable movie franchises of all time because they've expanded into like Annabelle and The Nun and the Conjuring movies. But the Hayes brothers, who created it, are the sons of missionaries and base the first film on their experiences that their parents told them about being in the mission field and the supernatural occurrences they saw while doing Christian ministry. So that's what I mean. It's like these conversations are emerging in very interesting places.
I'm not into any of that. No, thank you. I'm not trying to get scared during my 30 minutes of being entertained and disconnecting once a day. You're not going to be scared.
My word of the day, France word of the day, is everywhere I go around here, I see posters for Ka, Chapter 2, which is apparently French for it. Or maybe clown. I'm not sure yet, but one of those.
So when you're walking by the big glass window full of baguettes, and you're like, "I'll have Ka, please," and you're pointing to a baguette, and you're like, "Oh, I'm halfway there. I can say it."
Or they think I mean evil clown. I don't. It could be one of the things where they change that. They could change.
We're not exactly sure about the
translation.
All right, coming in number 3 this week, Jim Gaffigan opened up about his personal faith and why he doesn't like the praying hands emoji when he visited Colbert. So he joined the Late Show this week, and he vented that the praying hands emoji is only used by lazy people. He said, So you're praying for me, but you're too lazy to type out, I'm praying for you. It's a good point. It's good. You're taking the time to actually say the prayer, but you can't take the time to say the words in the text. Yeah. The conversation quickly turned to faith, however, with Stephen asking Jim about his faith, to which Jim somewhat jokingly said, this is the only show in America where it turns like, hey, so what about your faith, Jim? Which I thought was pretty funny, that it's the only show in America that Stephen Colbert always asks about the person's faith. And I thought, the only show in America that does that until the Relevant Talk Show debuts in 2022.
Yeah.
That's going to be our beat.
Relevant tonight.
So Jim Gaffigan's wife and writing partner Jeannie recently had a serious medical challenge, eventually having a large brain tumor removed, which she discusses in her new memoir. Here's a clip of Jim and Stephen's exchange.
Well, it's wonderful that Jeannie is okay, but I was wondering, did that change your view of God or your sense of religiosity or your approach to that when your wife, you're the woman you love most in the world, went through this harrowing ordeal?
Well, there's so many, there's individually, my personal relationship with Jesus, which sounds crazy, but is, I found a lot of comfort in that. But I would also say that our community, the Catholic community, and even most of our friends are atheists, and they were, they would send messages like, hey, I'm praying for Jeannie. And I didn't want to be like, hey, but you said you were an atheist. You know what I mean? So there was something.
I'm praying to nothingness.
Yeah, there is something, the comfort of that community. Our community was very supportive. And I would say that, but my wife is, she's the spiritual leader that I really follow, and so.
She's your pope?
She's my pope. But yeah, no, she talks about her faith a lot in the book, and I just get nervous, and which is why you bring it up.
What do you mean you get nervous?
I get nervous because it's, it's imperfect, my faith.
Unlike mine, which is
no, well, you know what I mean? Well, I think that
solid gold, baby.
No, but I think that people assume, like, he admitted he believed in God, so he has to be perfect, and that's not the case. I need to believe that there is some greater power that is forgiving me for being the monster I am.
Little foreshadowing. Foreshadowing.
I wish, Cameron. I wish that there was a platform, because this was such an interesting.
It was good. It was a good
90 seconds of conversation.
Short conversation.
I wish there was a platform
could go deeper. Like
that
more.
People would come to have deeper conversations. Like that would be, I don't know, thousands of words long with lots of backstory and quote after quote.
You know what else I wish? I wish, not only do I want to read more about like what Jim and Jeannie went through and how it transformed their faith, but like I want to see them in their neighborhood or at their home.
Yeah.
Like I want to like take me there. Like have a photo shoot in their neighborhood and then sit down and have a real deep conversation with them. I wish there was a magazine that would have an article like that.
Like
in the next
hypothetically,
issue.
This is the longest build-up in the history of the world.
Give Jeannie a voice too. I want to hear from her.
Yeah,
this was her ordeal.
We need to give equal, if not more, space to Jeannie. Than just the celebrity husband.
And if only that magazine would have it in their 101st issue, which hits newsstands very soon.
Next week. Yep. All right. Coming in number 2 this week, we got our first look at the drama Just Mercy. The film is based on Bryan Stevenson's transformative book called Just Mercy. It's about his time working as a lawyer trying to get black men off of death row in the American South. It's an incredibly harrowing read that exposes the systemic racism at the heart of the U.S. justice system. It's an important book. Stevenson is also a committed Christian and the founder of the reform organization, the Equal Justice Initiative. The movie adaptation is a who's who of celebrity powerhouse. It stars Michael B. Jordan as a young Stevenson, as well as Jamie Foxx and Brie Larson. It is coming out in December, and here's a clip of the trailer.
Each of us is more than the worst thing that we've ever done.
That made me who I am.
I know what it's like to be in the shadows. It's my dad. He did nothing wrong. It's never too late for justice.
You're the only one who cared enough to fight for me.
If we can look at ourselves closely, we can change this world for the better. We all need grace. We all need mercy.
It's very inspirational.
Yeah.
A little personal behind the scenes on this one. About 9 months ago, I was given the opportunity to visit the set while they were filming Just Mercy, and was there on a day when Michael B. Jordan was shooting in the jail and stuff. Is unbelievably powerful. And then when I had lunch with the director, Dustin Daniel, and when we sat down and he was like, "Oh, you're from Relevant," and he goes, "I know Relevant. It's like the cool Christian magazine." That's what he said to me. I'm like,
Oh.
so he apparently he went to college at Biola in LA, Christian University of Biola.
Wow.
And he's not practicing Christian anymore, but apparently Relevant and Biola, that's where he came across us, 10 years ago.
He's also, his next one is he's getting into the Marvel scene. He's directing a Marvel movie next after this. So he's definitely on the rise. He's about to become his life is about to change big time. And I loved this book. I thought Just Mercy was just such a good read. I love Bryan Stevenson, and I just can't. It's one of those things I heard a little while back, like they're doing the movie with Michael B. Jordan, and it kind of seemed like one of those things you'd hear about, and then it fell apart because it doesn't quite work out. But now we got a trailer, and it seems like the studio has a lot of confidence in it. I'm excited to hear what you guys think about it, because you're going to see it in Toronto, right?
Yeah, we're going to try to.
Assuming Jesse gets there.
If Jesse's flight gets there.
Exactly. No big deal, American Airlines. Not like I have any big plans this weekend.
Yeah, Jesse is scheduled to interview Tom Hanks this weekend, and American is not getting him there. I'm like, Jesse, get in a car right now. Like, just go.
Driving to Canada.
Just drive there.
Tom Hanks, famously terrible interview. Nobody likes him. Nobody likes talking to the guy. Everybody leaves with a bad opinion.
So it was when we were there, when they were filming it, I was like, well, when's it coming out? And they're like, I don't know, probably like spring 2020. And then, so it's going to be like March-ish next year. And then officially it became January 20th. And now it's December, which bodes well for, they're probably trying to get it in December for award season and stuff.
Yeah.
So it bodes well that it turned out good. And the studio is getting more and more confident putting it in a better holiday slot. So
Happy.
Yeah, look out for Just Mercy. All right, coming in number 1. What do you think?
What do you excited.
It's not the Benny Hinn news.
Really?
It's not the Benny Hinn news.
I left it off because a lot of people, when they talk to me about the podcast, they're like, how do you pick the hot list? It's got to be intersection of faith and culture. The Benny Hinn was too much just faith. It was too much just like church worldly, like I got to have some cultural hook into it. Like it was on TV, but it was really a faith person talking about faith stuff. I got to have a cultural hook for the hot list,
Interesting.
That's my approach. Like if
you're not going to be like the hot list coming number 3.
Interesting that he's already defending it. It hasn't even. We don't even know what it is. I can't wait now.
Well, Tyler's going to be. Then I have a hunch. Because the one I'm thinking of is the directly there at the intersection, Faith Avenue, Culture Street.
If we're talking the intersection, the overlap, the Venn diagram of faith and culture,
that's what I look for. If
we're talking about that, in the 20 years we've been publishing and creating content, looking for these stories, we have never had one fall in our lap as perfect as this. This is the center of the Venn diagram. Coming in at number 1.
It keeps on giving.
This week, Justin Bieber led worship.
Tyler, you get your turn.
Justin Bieber led worship at a Judah Smith's church and opened up about maturing in his faith this week. One of the biggest stars in the world actually led worship at a church and is talking about his faith. I can't Venn diagram this more directly. All right, so here's what happened. The pop star shared a clip of the service saying, "God is pulling me through a hard season. Having trust in Jesus at your worst times is the absolute hardest, but he is faithful to complete what he started. I also want to thank my wife for being such a huge support in my life through this season. It says in the Bible, count it all joy when you face trials of various kinds. It sounds insane considering when you face trials, you feel terrible. But if we're grateful and worship God for what we do have in that season, there is so much power in that. Whatever pain you're going through, just keep telling yourself, this won't last Love you guys. We in this together. I mean, this dude's preaching to 12 million people with this post.
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane.
I love him. I won't pretend.
So-
but Huck, what's your feels?
Well, hold on. And another post this week. We're not done. In another post this week, Justin described how difficult his upbringing was and discussed the consequences of his past mistakes. He said, by 20, I made every bad decision you could have thought of and went from one of the most loved and adored people in the world to the most ridiculed, judged, and hated. However, he encouraged followers to be kind to others that are in seasons of struggle. He said, be bold today and love today, not by your standards, but by God's perfect, unfailing love. Here's a clip of Justin Bieber leading worship at Church Home, Judas Smith Church in the Way.
For me, and I can say I'm stronger, I am wiser, I'm better, much better. When I look back over all you brought me through, I can see what you were the one I held on to.
Now, Tyler, what are your negative words from France?
Hey, hold on. First of all, I'm not a Bieber fan. Like, his music's all right. I'm not a Bieber fan. He can sing. He's got some Fred Hammond in him. He's got some Fred Hammond. He's good.
I love that guy.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
I have nothing negative.
Purpose had a couple bangers. Purpose had some bangers.
And I think it takes a lot of. I told Jesse this yesterday. Not every child celebrity story ends up like this. Obviously, there's a lot of really sad stories, and it sounds like Justin came pretty close to being one of those sad stories at various parts over the course of his career too.
Well, I mean, he's been open. He's been open about
struggling. It's going to be a long road.
He's been open about struggling with substance abuse and depression and anxiety, and obviously
and mistreating women.
Yeah. And obviously since getting married last year, I mean, he's still struggling with depression and anxiety and stuff. So it's like there's not like a happy ending, like, oh, my life's perfect now. It's like he's being honest and open about the journey, which is very rare. Like to have somebody at his stature invite people into the stuff behind the scenes. Yeah. You know what I mean?
All right, Tyler, you disagree with every one of these was in the perfect Venn diagram. Dead center, faith, culture, right the crosshairs. Speaking of crosshairs, which one are you so upset that we cover on the website, but we're not talking about on the podcast?
Just because this was my intersection, I've got a sick love for these things. I think you all know that I cover these, that I've got a beat, and I don't even know quite what to call it. But
comic books. It's like comic books. That's your beat.
It's what?
Yeah, this is a different beat. This isn't that beat. This is like regressive evangelical pop culture that steps on the rake in its attempt to make a point, and just can't seem to find its way out of it just keeps on getting caught in its own, hoisted on its own petard. And one of the chief, like a champion of this, somebody who's really become a world-class rake stepper is Kevin Sorbo of Hercules
Kevin
fame.
Sorbo.
Obviously, also God's Not Dead, in which he lost his life. Apparently, I have not seen it. That's my understanding of what happened.
So he does not play God in the film because Kevin Sorbo, in fact, dies, and God's not dead.
Yeah, I think, is dead. Isn't that kind of like when Iron Man died? I mean, it was detrimental to the franchise. It was altering.
I think that Kevin Sorbo wanted out of the franchise. He'd been in it too long. He carried it along as far as he could. He needed to make room for some fresh blood. So Sorbo now has a movie that he is going to be in. It's going to be in theaters for one night only. That feels kind of important to keep in mind for all of this. It is called
One Night.
The Reliant. And in The Reliant, I'm just going to read the trailer is posted on relevantmagazine.com. I encourage you to read your friends, read your little write-up.
What night is it? Is it like Good Friday or something like that?
No, it's October. It's just a random night in October. Just doesn't.
It's one of those things where you can like the ballet has a one night theater release. You know what I mean? Or like
I do love those
like
things.
The Super Bowl.
Phantom, is it?
Yeah, Phantom events. Yeah. There's been more than one Christian movie that couldn't get distribution and decided to do a Phantom events release just so they could say, we had a theatrical release.
The rumor is that's how all these Christian movies manage to break the box office, is because churches just buy out the whole theater and then hand tickets out to anybody who wants to come from the congregation. But
I am interested in the plot, Tyler.
I think it's important to know. I want to read a little bit from the official synopsis. Because it really does defy description. So the setup is that Kevin Sorbo and his family are on the run from Antifa. Antifa has gotten out of control in their peaceful town, and they're a bunch of Bernie
Should I
bros
know what that is?
and socialists.
Like some people say Antifa.
As our president says, Antifa. Yeah,
Antifa.
They are.
They're like left wing.
The liberal
protesters.
resistance to Remember, like the clash in Charleston had the white Nazis marching, and they were clashed with the Antifa, or like people who were opposing.
It's an amalgamation of the words. It's basically anti-fascism is where they get the word from, and they're also a conservative boogeyman because they pose almost zero threat to anyone. Yet, if you watch certain news outlets, they are basically the equivalent of the ISIS cells in America,
like the liberal,
not privileged kids that go to Portland universities and throw on a ski mask to protest the Klan meetings. Anyway, continue with the synopsis.
Anyway, so Sorbo and his family
are on the
run, and according to the official synopsis, I'm quoting now. Alone and vulnerable, the children's faith and family bonds are pushed to the limit, especially those of the eldest daughter, Sophie, who questions the morality of gun ownership, but soon learns that in God all things are good, including her family's Second Amendment rights to defend themselves.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Much of the trailer that I will. Well, there's actually two trailers, and okay. Tyler, allow me to describe the first, and you can describe the second.
Yes.
Because one is the hard-ed action Kevin Sorbo trailer. The other is almost for a completely different film entirely that looks like a Pure Flix marriage film. Like you would watch this trailer and have no idea that this is about a family on the run from a mob of well-armed, resistance fighters. So literally it's like, it is a marriage movie. But anyway, so one of them is basically Kevin Sorbo shooting wildly into crowds of Antifa fighters with a handgun while they are shooting back with AK-47s. There is no plot except for the words like Second Amendment flying on the screen, God flying on the screen, Kevin Sorbo shooting randomly more. For some reason, a guy is running through various scenes with a samurai sword. And for no reason that's ever explained, it's Kevin Sorbo and a guy with a samurai sword single-handedly fighting back these mob of fighters. So why don't you describe the second trailer for us?
So the second trailer is described, it was uploaded to YouTube, and it's called simply Faith Trailer. So I have to assume this had a targeted audience behind it.
Something for the whole thing.
And it has a very emotional, it sounds like, I don't know, some sort of a Christian pop star singing behind it. And it seems to be mostly about a marriage, like a young woman and a man planning their marriage, and he commits she keeps forgiving him. Most of it is her talking about how much she forgives him and didn't expect him to be perfect.
With him saying stuff like this, I'm not a perfect man. She's like, I didn't want a perfect man. I wanted a man who served a perfect God. And then it's bad. It's bad. And the samurai guy, interesting. He does show up in that trailer too.
He's there. No samurai sword, but that's the only reason I know it's the same movie.
That's crazy.
Annie, what are your thoughts on The Reliant?
I am so out on this. This does nothing for me.
Why? If Kevin Sorbo will want to do the promotional rounds for his movie, you could have him on your podcast.
That's true.
He's the one I'm not going to have.
I plan on
Was
having
he the
him.
one from the red carpet?
Listen, I'm announcing it here. I'm inviting Kevin Sorbo on this podcast because it would be hilarious and awesome. Yeah. And who's with me?
Jesse,
who's with me?
It only, this. It only works to have on the ironic guys if they're in on the joke. When we had John Tesh come on the show, he was a great sport because he gets the mystique of John Tesh.
Right,
I sat in on an interview, and I don't know that it ever aired or we did anything with it. This is years ago when the Rambo movie came out, where he rescued the missionaries. Do you remember that? He was a professional cobra catcher that reluctantly got dragged in to fight the Cambodian and single-handedly took down the Cambodian government for kidnapping American missionaries. And during the press rounds, we got offered him, and Adam gleefully agreed. And the 10 minutes that they spoke, which I just sat there with headphones on while the conversation transpired, was 10 of the most awkward minutes of my life. Because if there's one man who is not self-aware at all and is not in on any joke that he is a part of, it is Sylvester Stallone. And Adam made a joke out of the whole thing. I can't even remember what happened to it, but I remember I laughed the entire time. I mean, like, I had my hand on my face and tears were coming down, and I think I was sweating because it was so uncomfortable. But Adam's cool as a cucumber, having a notebook in front of him, reading awkward question after awkward question about hypothetical Rocky fights. Well, what about if Hulk Hogan was so, and I'm just like, Adam, I can't believe you're doing this. And like, he's just staring at me with his cold, deadpan eyes, unflinchingly, as if this is the interview he was born to conduct. There's a server somewhere in the relevant storage unit that interview exists on. We just need to find it. Maybe we'll call Flynn. He probably knows where it is.
All right, that'll do it for...
It's the high list. The high list. It's sizzling.
Stay tuned. Up next, Chris Brown joins us. Not that one.
He's going to love these jokes.
I've never heard it. He's like, what? That's finally someone made that connection.
Just like him.
Another Chris Brown that makes music.
It really waters me down. Never meant to be you, never meant to be me, never meant to be us. Never meant for all of this, never meant for you to love, never meant for you to trust. So I'll take my time next time, and I'll do it right. And I'll take my time next time.
You're listening to Vagabond. The song is Water Me Down. Well, today's show is brought to you by Squarespace. Whether you need a landing page, a gallery, a professional blog, or an online store, it's all included with your Squarespace website. Creating a site with Squarespace is a simple, intuitive process. You can add and arrange your content and features with a click of a mouse. You can even design a best-in-class online store with Squarespace's award-winning templates, customizable settings, and more, all without a single plugin. Including all the tools you need to track inventory, process orders, and send custom emails in one intuitive interface, Squarespace Commerce allows you to understand every aspect of your business. I've been using Squarespace for years and would highly recommend it. And right now, Squarespace is offering Relevant podcast listeners a special deal. Go to squarespace.com/relevant for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch your site, use the offer code RELEVANT to save 10% of your first purchase of a website or domain. Well, Elevation Worship is the worship ministry of Elevation Church, the multi-site church based in Charlotte, North Carolina, and led by Stephen Furtick. We recently spoke with Elevation singer and songwriter Chris Brown about their brand new EP, At Midnight, the heart behind the project, and even got a behind-the-scenes look at several of its breakout tracks. Here is our conversation with Elevation Worship's Chris Brown.
I want to start with the opener, Gone. I feel like it's such a cool, interesting choice for kind of the kickoff, and it definitely sets the tone. Can you tell me a little bit about writing Gone and also kind of what the response was when you sort of unveiled it to the church?
That one has a really good and interesting story. So for starters, our pastor, Stephen Furtick, he's been a songwriter with our team for years, right? So like I knew him as a teenager when we were playing in bands together. So I first knew him before Elevation was even a church. I knew him as this musician, songwriter. That Gone was written, I believe, in January, maybe the start of February of this year. And I was on the road. We were in the middle of a tour, and I get a text on a Sunday morning when I know he's preaching back home, and I get a text, and it's like this voice memo with with some lyrics, And he's like, what do you think about this? And I'm looking at the time and I'm like, wait a minute, like it's in between services back home. You just got off the stage from preaching and you're sending me a voicemail, which to be honest is kind of like his normal creative flow. If he's in, just a creative zone, whether it's writing for a sermon or in the middle of preaching, delivering a sermon, there's definitely been times when we've hopped on writing in the middle of that. But so he sends me this idea and the chorus is there, like, gone, gone, now my sin is dead and gone. And the chords were for the most part in place, and it totally kicks off the theme of what we want this, these 5 songs in this project to feel like, which is, again, just like, I've got a reason to show up, and I've got a reason to shout, and I've got a reason to sing because of what Jesus has done. So that one's kind of a different story, but a lot of fun to tell.
I want to talk about Sea of Victory, because that's one that, like some of the the things that are mentioned in the song, not backing down from any giant, kind of making it through storms. That's one I've listened to a bunch of times, and every time, you kind of feel like you can just take on the world. And I feel like it's sort of, the centerpiece of the EP. Tell me a little bit about, Sea of Victory and how that came together.
Yeah, we wrote that one in February of this year with Ben Fielding from Hillsong and Jason Ingram. I found in my life that when I have my faith stirred for like what will happen, it gives me like faith for today, right? So like I feel like sometimes I'm existing in these different places and these different timelines. I've got faith and see faith, the evidence of it from what happened yesterday. And a lot of times it's easy to say, I've got faith for what shall be, but a lot of times what's hardest is having now faith for me, like faith for today. But when I declare something like I'm gonna see a victory, like I will see this, I find myself getting just filled up and having faith stirred for, it is going to happen. And this is giving me faith for right now. Like right now when I feel like God is silent, like right now when I'm not hearing anything from God and I feel like nothing is moving and I see zero evidence of a situation turning around, but I still can see or feel my faith just getting stirred up. And I feel like this is one of those songs that will do just that. Like it'll meet people in their situation and in their today, even, when they're facing devastating circumstances, or if they just feel like they're just kind of in a place where they're just tripping along every single day and having not seeing any momentum or not really feeling inspired in any sense of the word. They're going to have this faith.
That was Elevation Worship. Stay tuned. Up next, Ask the Cast.
I'm Jim Stump, host of the BioLogos podcast, Language of God. I'm here to tell you about Season 2. We'll be talking to theologians, pastors, scientists, and writers about spiritual formation,
evolutionary biology,
social healing and civil discourse,
language transformation,
and so much more. We'll explore the harmony between science and Christian faith with John Ortberg,
Krista Tippett,
John Walton,
and lots of others. Join us for Season 2 of Language of God. Find it wherever you listen to podcasts.
No matter how many times that you push me down, I feel the need to.
You're listening to Sabrina Claudio. The song is Holding the Gun. Okay, it's time for...
If you got something you wanna know, now's the time to ask. It's Ask the Cast.
Bringing the jingles. It's great. All right, we go on Twitter every Friday and we ask you guys if you have anything that's on your mind that you're wanting to ask the cast. You hit us up at Relevant Podcast, and I will lob a few of your Ask the Cast questions to the team now. Okay, Carla Buckingham. This probably is more of a Jesse question, but Annie comes from the education scene. But Jesse will probably step all over you with this. Carla asked,
the floor is Annie's.
I just got promoted to vice principal. That rings Annie to me. But then the question is, I'm looking for creative middle school punishments.
Oh boy, yeah, that's for sure, Jesse.
Annie, you've been.
You're right. This is the great combo.
You were in education. I want to hear your take, and then you can kick it over to me.
My first take would be get them to clean up places, because I always think when you make people do community service, I'm a big community service. So send them to the elementary school to clean up, send them to the local high school to clean up after high schoolers.
But not in their own school? But not in their own school?
No, make them care about someone besides themselves. But Jesse, what's the real answer?
Public shaming in the form of impromptu public speaking. You know, listen, they want to cut up in class. Oh, well, the floor is yours, smart guy. Stand up here. Impromptu book report speech on George Washington. We're all ears, pal. We're all ears. I'm going to film it on my phone. I'm going to send it to your mom and dad. How you like that, you little punk? Now you'll pay for making me cry. That's what I would do, Annie.
Oh, yeah.
You think it's funny to cry in front of a bunch of kids? Now you're going to see how it feels. You little jerk. You're a jerk. You didn't have to say that. You have to get that personal. I'm getting a haircut today, you jerk. You think it's funny, Bobby? Well, you got a big, stupid head face.
Ow. That feels way too real to you,
Bobby.
Bobby.
You're so funny. You're so funny. You're going to amount to nothing. I knew kids like you. You got kicked out of college for being little punk, stupid heads. You're going to be in jail, Bobby.
All right.
Just like that. That's how you handle it.
Yeah, that's
Put them
how
in their
you
place.
Karis Brister asks, she wants to know what Annie's next book is about. She wants to know Annie's answer and Jesse's answer.
Okay, do you want to go first, Jess, or am I going first?
I want to hear yours, and then I'll throw mine, because I mean, mine's called The Spirit of Discipline, and it's disciplining young middle schoolers in the most emotionally charged way. Most of it is a long, rambling rant about that little punk Bobby that didn't have to make fun of my appearance. The Spirit of Discipline. Annie F. Downs.
Yeah.
Dedicated to Bobby, the biggest jerk in the world, the biggest jerkhead ever. What's your book about, Annie?
What is my book about? You know, an interesting part about writing books is that I often feel like my job isn't to create something as much as it is to find something. It kind of already exists somewhere spiritually. And so I said to someone yesterday, I feel like I'm an archaeologist and I know I met the right dinosaur, but all I've found so far is the feet. And so I'm not totally sure what the book is about. There is a theme of, so far in what I'm writing, there is a theme of fun, because that's kind of what I'm known for these days, and a theme of holding joy and sadness at the same time. So those are the themes I see. Those are the feet of the dinosaur. So I know I'm at the right dinosaur, but I don't know what the rest of it looks like yet.
Wow.
All right.
And, yeah, you've been asked this question before, because you had that ready to go.
You had the elevator pitch.
Right out of the oven.
The elevator pitch right in the holster.
Hot and crispy.
Yeah. Yes, is the answer.
It was, as they say here, it was al dente. I think that's French.
Here.
I think it's Italian.
I'm not sure.
About Italy.
Francais.
Okay, Cameron Crenshaw is a family dispute. He says, I just found out my wife, and he tagged her Twitter name. I just found out my wife has been low-key listening to the Relevant podcast all caps, after telling me it was stupid for 2 years. How do we resolve this conflict? And for greater context, she then replies, she says, number 1, you're welcome. Number 2, I'm allowed to be wrong once. Number 3, why do I feel like Cheesecake will fix this?
Cheesecake will not fix
he wants to know, how do we resolve this conflict?
What is her name?
Her name is
Sounds like it's
Bailey.
resolved.
Bailey Crenshaw and Cameron Crenshaw.
Kaylee?
That's interesting.
Bailey.
Well,
She was
called.
very wrong.
Well, let me ask
She
you.
called us stupid for 2 years.
She called us stupid
Wow.
for 2 years. Just like that stupid head Bobby. Kate Bailey, you're a big stupid head jerk face. Jerk. Bailey. Cheesecake fixes nothing. It fixes nothing.
I do want to know what won her over. Like, what was the what did you think was stupid? And did we course correct, or did she,
or did she realize that she's the stupid one all along?
You got to let the stupid wash over you long enough, and then you start.
Anything. Yeah, it's kind of like the frogs don't realize they're boiling.
That's right.
You just sit
That's
them in there long
exactly right.
enough, and
That's exactly right.
And they realize
John,
they've wasted a tremendous amount of their life listening to us.
John
ramble on.
Tansey says, or he asked, you get control of one Twitter account for 1 hour. Which account and what do you tweet?
Oh, that's a great
question. Oh man.
One account for 1 hour.
I was thinking about this because they hacked Jack's Twitter account last week, and they just did dumb
Yes.
stuff with it. That's just like if you're smart enough to hack into somebody's Twitter, you got to be smart enough to do something cool when you're there.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all know the obvious answer.
I think we all know the obvious.
And,
answer.
Y'all both want Trump.
And the tweet would be, I resign, you all.
Oh, no.
I stepped down.
I will move. I'm
I was
moving.
wrong.
I'm moving to Alabama to fight hurricanes.
Who do you want, Cameron? What would you take over for an hour?
Oh, I don't know. I have no clue.
That's not how the questions work. You don't get to not have an answer.
No, I mean, but what Jesse said was funny because like the official statements of every tweet is an official statement of the White
Declaration.
House. So yeah,
I hereby.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I would hereby order businesses to stop from doing business with China and see how that goes over. What could possibly go wrong there?
I would hereby. I think I don't even know if he doesn't have Twitter, right? Bezos.
I don't
follow
interesting.
him.
I don't know if he does or not.
I think he does because I think I remember when him and this is a sad point of reference, but I do remember them issuing a public statement when their marriage was ending.
When they divorced.
And I thought that was on, I think he does have Twitter. So what would you do if you could get into Jeff Bezos' Twitter account?
I think I just start like pulling up GoFundMe's. Put all that money to good
right.
use.
Oh, yeah.
Just find all the cool
And just
ones out there.
retweeting them?
Or
retweeting them, and then if I've got his Twitter password, I've got his Venmo password. I can use
Right.
them. I'll just start meeting needs.
Yeah.
Robin Hood.
Cool. Yeah.
Right. Gosh, I don't know who I'd want.
I would take John Piper and go, JK Rob Bell. We've like the farewell is all a big joke. We're buds.
I would really enjoy John Piper's. That's a great answer from
You
from
make it seem like John Piper just had a long con with Rob Bell, where he was just seeing how long he could stretch it.
Listen, Annie, in this hypothetical scenario, you have John Piper's Twitter password.
Oh,
He cannot get in for 1 hour. What do you tweet?
Yeah.
What do you tweet?
It's just retweeting female pastors over and over again who are on stages doing the good work of the gospel, and a lot of stuff about women in leadership. I think that'd be a real treat.
Annie, my mission, I don't know if I can legally say this, but I am going to try to hack John Piper's Twitter account today. And
Y'all just the side of me that y'all barely know that the public for sure doesn't know that you guys kind of know is that I have a real justice streak.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and given the chance, I could be a terrible person. And so this conversation tonight, when I go to bed, I will lay there for 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Dreaming of what I would tweet. And it will be so satisfying.
I like that.
I like it a lot.
I'm literally thinking like who, if I could have access to their voice, would I want to say to America or whoever, I'm sorry. Like that's what, like, I'm just sitting there thinking like, who would I want to apologize for? You know, like,
right.
Piper would be interesting to try to unwind some of the stuff that's been put out there.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Lots to pull apart.
Yeah. All right. Last question. Harrison says, so I just started college and I like all my professors except one, my communications professor. What do I do?
Tell them.
Your comms prof. Yeah, they're a comms professor.
They can handle it.
Yeah, I think your next speech is why you're a big jerk face. And this is my persuasive.
Address the whole thing to Bobby.
This is my persuasive speech, and I'm persuading you to know how much a big dumb jerk you are. All my other professors are great, but you're a comm professor, and you are a big dumb jerk. I mean, when I didn't like professors, I would just act up in class. I mean, I would show, this is about showing them who's in real control here. In college, here's the thing. Here's the thing about people don't realize about college that are in their first or second year. I don't know what year, but communication sounds like a general ed class. So this makes me think they're probably a freshman or a sophomore. Is that you've been trained your whole life where, you basically are under the authority of your teacher, right? In college, you are a paying customer. That professor's working for you. The consequences are far, far less when you act out in college because
I have never thought about that, Jesse.
No professor wants to be the one that's like, yeah, I threw out 3 kids. In high school and elementary school, middle school, that's fine. They send them to the principal. They got a whole system set up. You don't get sit in the principal in college. You can be funny.
You're right.
You can be a funny, trust me on this, you can be a funny cut up in a college class and there's almost no consequences. They're not going to send you anywhere. They're literally, they're course of recourse. You're a paying customer and you're an adult, right? When you're a child, they actually have things that they can do to punish you. In college, I took too long to realize this. I didn't realize this till like junior year. And it's like, I can say whatever I want in this class and be the biggest jokester ever. And there's nothing that they can do. No college professor wants to be one that lost control of a class of college students. Right. I'm telling you, there's no consequences. Just be a cut up, be hilarious, say all the things you wanted to say.
I can tell you from experience that their only course of is to pull you aside and remove you from the class, like drop the course.
Yeah,
like I don't want you in my class anymore.
Yeah, but it's like that scene in The Hangover where they steal the police car. And Bradley Cooper's like, listen, no cop wants to be the one that's like a bunch of tourists got a hold of my police cruiser and left it on Las Vegas Boulevard. No college professor wants to be, I had to kick 5 kids out because they're making fun of me. All the other, it's not a badge of honor. Like, you hold all the power, college student. Let it have some fun.
All right. Well, many thanks to there's so many more questions.
Good luck with to our freshmen. Yeah.
Hey, I want to, before we close the show, I want to say something personal. I've only kind of gone here a couple times over the years, like when I was going through my divorce and stuff and whatever. But I want to mention something that happened this week, and I want to share with our listener family, I guess, before we close. We have a couple minutes. So you might remember her. There was a person who came on the podcast a couple years ago. Do you remember when we had Quip was one of our sponsors, and I pulled in a friend to give us Quip tips? Quip tips. That was Morgan Hickey, and she is somebody very close to me. And you've heard me mention on the podcast that this has been a really hard year, and this week we were able to kind of share a little bit more about that, and told her story. Morgan found out earlier this year that she is in the late stage of a very rare and aggressive cancer. And it's a freak thing, and the doctors don't really have a clear path for her. There's only about 20 cases of her type of cancer that's been documented in the world. So everybody's kind of guessing. And she's in the fight for her life right now, and she's seeing specialists and leaving no stone unturned with holistic remedies and emotional things and spiritual. She's flying to Bethel tomorrow to get prayed over this weekend. I mean, like really pursuing or fighting for her life. And this week I made a little video, and we started a GoFundMe for her fight, and we shared it. And literally like 2 days, almost $25,000 have been given to support her in her treatment and everything. I just want to say thank you to everybody. I know some of you guys who listen to the podcast have like retweeted it and have donated. And I just want to say she's overwhelmed right now, like in such a profound way, all the love and support that everybody's been, because it was really scary for her to share her story, and I was like, man, just give people an opportunity to support you and love you. And but she was scared that like, what if nobody cares, or like, what if nobody, helps or whatever. And just to see the outpouring has been overwhelming in a great way. And I just want to say thank you to everybody. Her GoFundMe is gofundme.com/Morgan Hickey, Hickey. If you want to go see the video we made and hear more of her story. So she's a friend of all of ours. And I just wanted to share that with our listener friends. So
it's been kind of tough to be on this side of it and hear some of these updates. These are always like super scary, and seeing the numbers. I checked in once again. I came in next morning after the GoFundMe had been up for a little while, missed a lot in the night, and it was cool to see how far it had come so quickly.
Yeah.
It keeps going that direction.
Yeah.
It's the thing that's scary, but it's like if she's doing one treatment route, it's largely covered by insurance, right? But she needs to go talk to people who have treated this kind of a cancer.
Yeah.
The prognosis for her type of cancer in the few cases that have been documented was after treatment, nobody lived more than about 5 years. And so it's a very scary situation, but we're believing for a miracle, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like I believe that we serve a miracle working God, and we're just standing in her corner and she's fighting. So I appreciate everybody who's rallied around her. It's been awesome to see.
And it has been inspiring to see her faith in your faith and people like, Christine Kane, who prayed for, and not just seeking medical attention, but really kind of seeking the prayers of the body of Christ. And it's really inspiring to see faith in action like that.
And I'll tell you behind the scenes, like the national leaders and people who have surrounded her. I'm just going to say this. So she's going out to Bethel. That's because Banning Liebscher, the pastor of Jesus Culture, which, is in Sacramento now, but started at Bethel, he reached out and he said, God put it on my heart that she needs to go to Bethel. There's something that happens there, and Jesus Culture bought her ticket and her hotel and her car and is sending her out there. Like seeing that type of stuff, she feels called to ministry. And so she went back to school to pursue a ministerial leadership degree at Southeastern University. When the deans there heard about her fight, they gave her a full scholarship. I mean, it's just like, come on. It's not just about money, it's not about money. It's just like people rallying around somebody that you care about in a very tangible way. It's been really powerful. Really amazing.
Yeah. Super cool.
Yeah.
Hey, many thanks to Chris Brown for joining us. Not that one. The good Chris Brown. Make sure to check out Elevation Worship's. Make sure to check out Elevation Worship's new EP At Midnight. It's out now. It is really powerful. I mean, it really is. It's a very great EP. Go check it out. Also, thanks to Squarespace for making the episode possible. Remember, you can go to squarespace.com/relevant for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch your site, use the offer code RELEVANT to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Okay, well, on that note, we will wrap it up. Hopefully, Jesse, I'll see you in Toronto tomorrow.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right. Well, I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Chandler Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Tyler Huckabee.
I'm Annie F. Downs.
We will see you on Tuesday. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Seasons change and our love went cold. Feed the flag 'cause we can't let go. Run away, but we're running in circles. Run away, I dare you to do.
Thank you for listening to the Relevant Podcast. If you like what you heard, be sure to leave us a review on iTunes. Check out other shows from the Relevant Podcast Network in the podcast section at relevantmagazine.com. And while you're there, browse exclusive podcast merchandise at our online store. Make sure to subscribe to Relevant Magazine. Info is available at relevantmagazine.com/subscribe.
I said so. I knew that this was doomed from the get-go.
You think it's funny to cry in front of a bunch of kids now? You're going to see how it feels. You little jerk. You're a jerk. You didn't have to say that. You have to get that personal. I'm getting a haircut today, you jerk.
Relevant Podcast Network.